Alright, y'all. So, they say Adam22 confirms cooperation with the feds and No Jumper Rico. I don't know. You feel me? I usually mind my own business, but, there's a lot of people talking about it. And I just wanted to see what was going on. So let's take a view of this. Let's see what
There
they
is
talking
new
about.
information coming out about the No Jumper Rico, and things are heating up. While everyone is pointing fingers at Adam, wondering if he's the feds, Adam just came out and admitted he's 100% helping the feds in their recent arrests of his No Jumper employees and guests. While I already knew Adam was aiding the feds, what he recently revealed on his podcast brings up a whole new question. Did the Crip leader Big U orchestrate the hit on Nipsey Hussle?
Man, listen, man, the word's been in the streets and shit. Like I said, I mind my own business. But crazy.
Well, according to Adam, that might just be the case. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's episode, we will be talking about Adam22 admitting he's cooperating with the feds. Let's get right into it. In my last video, we spoke about the No Jumper Rico that has commenced, with the feds taking in Break Baby, a No Jumper co-host, Loose Cannon, a recurring No Jumper guest, and the Rolling 60s Crip gang leader Big U into custody. All three men are being charged alongside many others with RICO charges, being accused of running a mafia-style organization in LA that is engaged in several crimes. Crimes like extortion, robbery, fraud, human trafficking, and even murder. Interestingly enough, No Jumper was listed as a direct source of evidence.
What did y'all think? What did y'all think? Man, these people be going on these podcasts and just talking like it's not gonna be all over the internet. That's the crazy thing about this. It's like they had a choice. You feel me? And they went with the choice they thought was good for themselves. Me personally, like it ain't like, oh, these people, these hoes, just tell them to snitch on themselves. You feel me? It gotta be a moment. I gotta watch. I ain't really watched the interviews and stuff, but I would think like, man, they know what to talk about and what not to talk about, right? That's common sense to me.
In this indictment, with podcast episodes featuring Brick Baby and Loose Cannon speaking freely about their crimes being listed in the indictment. It's being reported that about 40% of this indictment directly cites No Jumper podcast as the origins of this evidence. Many people have been calling out Adam as they believe he played the role in these takedowns, as he routinely asked incriminating questions and convinced many of his guests to snitch on themselves.
Listen. Once again, they snitched on themselves. You feel me? I ain't watched the interviews. Now, I can see somebody bringing up something and it be asked about it because it's already in the air. You get what I'm saying? So, these people should have enough common sense to know what to talk about and what not to talk about. What the dudes do? What he do? You feel me?
All while Adam monetized it by not only serving the content to his millions of subscribers, but also clipping it up and highlighting key moments where his guests or co-hosts snitch on themselves for views. After the internet began pointing fingers at Adam, like we covered in the last episode, he came out and defended himself, claiming that his platform isn't the problem but the solution, as he provided a platform for gang members to create legal money.
People saying that 22 is the reason why Brick got caught up. 22, you know what I do? I put people in position, put them on the podcast, give them jobs, help them make legal money. A lot of the shit they're getting caught up for, especially with Brick. It's like, I'm not seeing anything that says anything about stuff that he's done in the last 2 years since he been us, right? So, end of the day, I do employ people from the streets. And I guess, people from the streets sometimes get caught up in federal RICO indictments. And all I can say is that, yes, I may crack a joke here and there. I'm sorry, that's just my sick sense of humor. But end of the day, That's my boy. I'm standing with him. Loose. I got love for Loose too. We're gonna be documenting this whole thing, helping him along the way, whatever it is. So anybody acting like this is because of No Jumper, no Jumper is the antidote to this.
No ass, buddy. Oh, we don't want to play that ass. We don't want to play that ass. Get out of here.
As you heard for yourself, Adam claims No Jumper was the solution, not the problem. The remedy for these gang members to get out of the streets and make legal money.
What y'all think? Was Adam the solution or the problem? Just like with Vlad TV, right? They said he the feds, he damn near the feds. But these motherfuckers still go on there and talk about shit that they don't supposed to be talking about. I don't know what it is with it, like it's just fucking crazy. Honestly. Like, come on now. You snitching on yourself.
The only thing is, if he claims his platform was the solution, why are his co-host and his platform's guest in jail right now? Not long after Adam posted this, he revealed that he was actually visited by the feds, claiming that the feds visited him in his home the day before yesterday. Now, the feds didn't show up to arrest Adam22 like some people are.
Let me tell you this. The feds need to investigate their damn self. Okay? Because I don't know what's going on. If y'all don't know my situation, it's a lot going on. You know, I'm not even gonna talk about it now. We'll get into it. I got videos on my page about what I'm currently going through. And there's a lot of these motherfuckers need to be locked up themselves. They need to be going to get their own people. Cause there's a lot going on. How about that?
Falsely reporting. They actually came to speak to him. And boy, did Adam22 speak. Adam22 reported on social media that he would be talking about his visit by the feds on his next podcast. Of course, Adam will be using this serious situation for views and clicks that he can monetize and profit from. Now, on the podcast, he claimed that when the feds visited him, they asked him to provide certain information. According to Adam22, they requested he turn in information regarding a cease and desist document that Big U sent in to No Jumper. This cease and desist sent by Big U was requesting Adam take down a podcast episode in which his guest, Loose Cannon, accused them of being somehow.
Loose cannon? That nigga's a loose cannon. Like, man, the shit he's been saying, like, bruh, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know if they don't think like this can be pulled up from anywhere. Alright? Anybody can download this and use it against you. We should all know that by now, man. Everybody see where this is going. Alright. Stop getting on these podcasts and just talking too much. Come on now. You put in your life in jeopardy and a lot of other people's lives. For what? Some views? I guess. If it's worth it to y'all.
Involved in the death of Nipsey Hussle. According to Adam, he voluntarily handed over the documents.
The months. But while I'm in my house, I'm playing poker on my computer, guy comes to my front door, and I didn't actually even know, but my girl was communicating with him through the box in the front of our house with the camera. She texts me, she says, a dude is here from the FBI, and basically he's trying to serve you with a subpoena. And so she told him, Adam's not here, and he's off at work or whatever. I forget what she told him. And so I immediately hop on the line with my lawyer. I say, what should I do? I don't want to, handle this situation wrong. Over and over and over, I've sat down with rappers or whoever who tell me about situations in which they divulge too much information to the police or whoever, and it ended up coming back to bite them. Especially, something that comes to mind is like, now that being said, I'm not really that worried because I know that I myself haven't been involved in any criminality, but I figured I would have my lawyer take care of it. So my lawyer reaches out to the guy who came to my door. She assures me that she's going to be able to ask the FBI agent a handful of questions, and from that information be able to ascertain, is Adam in trouble? Is Adam going to be, forced to hand over a crazy amount of information? Because that was kind of lingering around in my head. Is like, God, this is going to be a huge pain in the ass if they want to confiscate all the computers and everything in here. We're going to have to buy a bunch of computers to use.
Where's the furnace? Set to start the furnace up, guys.
I don't know. I was considering that. I've not destroyed any information for the record. But this is the thing that my lawyer comes back to me with. She said
For
the
the
feds
record.
were interested in one thing
made
and one
sure.
thing only. Because in my head, I'm thinking they're going to want copies of the podcasts that Brick or Luce were on. They're going to want to make sure that there wasn't anything in those podcasts that was edited out. Now, anybody who knows me and No Jumper knows that we really don't like to edit things out. So the only stuff we're editing out is if it's like a 4-alarm fire, like, yo, we need to take this out. So I don't think there's ever been
Well,
something
you need to,
that Brick or Luce
Adam
told.
need to implement that now. Since you see where it's going, you should know not to ask them questions. And if something do come out, you should know to cut it. You should know what can be incriminated and what can put, especially if they your people. That's what you can do, Adam. You feel me?
Us that they needed us to edit out. But the one thing that the feds wanted was the cease and desist from Big U to No Jumper, asking us to take down the episode in which Loose Cannon first
he
made the
did it.
explosive statements that suggested that Big U had previous knowledge of Nipsey Hussle's death. Now, that situation is very much outside of what was mentioned in the indictment. In the indictment, there's nothing about Nipsey. There's nothing about any of that stuff. So this to me is kind of massive because it makes me feel like, oh, the FBI is interested in what Big U's involvement in Nipsey's death might be, which to me seems gigantic. I don't know why. That cease and desist is not going to help them prosecute Brick Baby or Loose Cannon or anybody else. But the fact that they're interested in that, to me, adds quite a bit of credibility to the argument that perhaps Nipsey Hussle's death was a more complicated situation than it appears to be.
Well, when this
Gave it to him though?
isn't
We did hand it over, yep.
isn't this
Man, listen. When Nipsey death happened, y'all gotta understand it was so much going on. So much. You know? They were saying this. They were saying that. You get what I'm saying? But as times go on and you hear more and more, things start to kind of make sense. You feel me? And the conversation I done heard about it is, man, especially now, if you link to other shit that happened, and now it's like, oh, it's a possible way. That's all they need. That's all they need. That one lead. That's all they need. And once it start, we know they do their job. They just don't do their job against their own people, I guess. But they do their job, and it's all respect. But I got a list for y'all. I'm a snitch today, okay? I'm a snitch today, cause I got a paper full of people. And it's y'all own people. Holla at me. Y'all want paper? I got you. Y'all need to talk? Come on over. I'm serious.
when that that
I mean, really, like,
So it's safe to say you the feds.
I'm happy to help the feds with talking about a document that we have. I'm happy to help the feds with talking about a document that we have obviously discussed on here over and over, and which doesn't implicate anybody that I know or whatever. And it's not like,
As you heard for yourself, Adam confirms that he is indeed cooperating with the feds, handing over documents they need to prove Big U and others committed crimes. Now, Adam claims he was only asked about Big U in this document. I have to call cap here. I am confident Adam is lying, and they either have requested more information and videos or told him they would be in touch and would need more information in the future. The feds also most likely told him not to talk about the case or what they're requesting from him. From past situations, I have learned that Adam isn't a trustworthy kind of guy, and he lies every chance he gets to protect his reputation. I'm confident Adam has or will be turning in more information in this case, especially since the feds have No Jumper listed all over the indictment, clearly indicating Adam22 is deeply rooted in this complaint. This isn't shocking since it's clear to me Adam isn't who he seems to be. Now what was...
Listen, man. Adam gonna have to take the stand. Hey, I'm just being real. Just think about this. Most of the case they said involves No Jumper. So when it come to indict and doing all that, is, well, they have the video, they have the stream of it, but whoever was in that room, you probably gonna get a summons or a subpoena, because they gonna want you. You know a lot. If you was there, you're a witness to it. You might not. I'm telling you, they trick you. You just gotta. You feel me? Y'all gotta know what y'all doing. That's it. Just think long before you start talking. That's what you could do, for sure.
Was really important to me about this information was the fact that Adam claimed the feds might be investigating Big U for the death of Nipsey Hussle. This was big news to me because, like I reported in my last video and in other videos about a year ago, Loose Cannon had claimed Big U might have had something to do with the death of Nipsey Hussle. According to Loose Cannon, before Nipsey's death, he was contacted by Big U, who told him Nipsey was dead. The only thing is, according to Loose Cannon, that wasn't true. At least not yet. As after he got off the phone with Big U, Loose Cannon called Nipsey to see if it were true. But Nipsey answered the phone and confirmed he was still alive. So Loose Cannon assumed what Big U said was a lie, only to get a call not long after that Nipsey Hussle had been taken out. On the No Jumper podcast, Loose Cannon suggested that Big U had to be in some way involved, as he knew about it before it even happened. Loose Cannon also claimed that Big U and Nipsey Hussle were sort of beefing, claiming that Nipsey Hussle made a whole diss song to Big U, which Big U wanted to fight Nipsey Hussle over. This is interesting because the man Big U is accused of taking out on the indictment was allegedly targeted by Big U because he made a diss song about him. So there is a possibility that Big U was responsible for the death of Nipsey Hussle as well. While everyone thinks Eric Holder was the sole man responsible for his death, that might not be the case. As in fact, Eric Holder was a member of the Rolling 60 Crips, the same gang Big U is a leading figure in. There is definitely the possibility that Big U could have instructed Eric to get rid of Nipsey, or even give him permission to do so, being the leading figure in the gang. This would literally change everything and prove that Nipsey's death was much more than it seems. According to Adam22, the feds are looking into Big U and investigating it all. Something I found interesting about all of this was Wack 100's involvement. For those who don't know, Wack 100 claims to be a leading figure in the Pyru Blood Gang in LA. He also just so happens to be an arch nemesis of Big U. The indictment details an incident where Big U caught Wack 100 lacking and attempted to take him out. According to the federal indictment, Wack 100 begged Big U to allow his family to leave unharmed, which according to Wack 100 they did. Somehow Wack 100 managed to escape the situation with his life, but it seems that ever since that day, Wack has commenced a plan to bring down Big U at any means necessary. We see that clearly in this.
I want to buy your house.
Okay,
I can
we're
pay you
not
cash
selling
for your
no
house no
houses.
matter what condition it's in.
Not today.
If you need
In this episode of the Adam and Wack Show, where Wack 100 brought Loose Cannon as a guest. For those who don't know, Loose Cannon just so happens to be a Rolling 60s Crip and a former enforcer for Big U. Loose Cannon had a falling out with Big U, and Wack 100 quickly became his ally. In this episode of the Adam and Wack Show, Wack brought Loose Cannon in and deliberately led him into snitching on himself and Big U. This episode is literally listed in the federal indictment because Loose Cannon made those claims about Big U possibly setting up Nipsey Hussle. It's obvious to me this was Wack's plan all along, an ingenious method in taking down his opposition. Just like Adam22, who purposely goes out of his way to trick his guests into snitching on themselves. Speaking about those Adam got arrested, in my previous video, I noticed many of you were claiming that you don't see a problem with Adam getting his criminal guest arrested. Some of you even went as far as to claim that I was the
Did Adam get him arrested? Or did they get themselves arrested? That's a good question. Hey, you know, these people is grown people. Okay? Nobody put a gun to their head. Even if they ask them a question, think about this. And I'm not on nobody's side, you feel me? Like I said, I mind my business, but I've been seeing this, and I said, okay, let me give them my thoughts. You know, I do have opinions and stuff like that, but for the most part, I mind my fucking business. Alright? Anyways, these people was grown, man. Nobody put a gun to their head. Nobody threatened them to snitch on themselves. That's what I'm saying. Even if somebody asks you a question, like I said, it's in the air. People want to know stuff. So if I'm by this person, I'm gonna ask a question. It's just it happened to be just on the podcast that was live and recorded, and was gonna post it on the internet to be accessible for everybody in the world. Think about that.
Defending the criminals and instead should be applauding Adam22 for cleaning up the streets, with some commenters claiming it's the guest's fault, not Adam's, as they were the ones who chose to snitch on themselves for clout. Now I want to make it clear that I do believe criminals belong in prison. I'm not here defending criminals and saying they should be free. I'm also not denying that these people clearly lack the self-control and the intelligence to not incriminate themselves for clout. But we also have to understand that it's much deeper than that. Adam22 isn't cleaning up the streets. He's destroying the urban youth and further pushing poison to the culture. He isn't some sort of advocate against street gangs and crime. He promotes and glorifies it while profiting from it. His platform glorifies gang culture and influences the LA youth that consumes his content into admiring gang members and gang culture. Adam is worse than the gang members, as most of these gang members are just kids who truly don't know any better. Adam is pushing 50 and he has never dealt with the issues of the urban community, nor was he targeted by the gangster propaganda that was served to the urban community. He's exploiting it and pushing whatever agenda the Masons he served want him to push. Think about it. Adam pushes gang culture every day on his podcast. He influences the next generation of urban kids to join gangs and want to be rappers, just like the rappers he hosts on his show.
I can see it. I can see the influence or something, but I feel like it's not even an influence. Listen, that's the parents. If the parents ain't teach the kids about this, especially if you growing up in the hood in LA, Compton, Inglewood, man, listen. Just listen. If you grow up it's like you really don't have a choice. If you grow up in the hood, and like I said, you cannot bang or nothing. But if somebody know you stay over there, and you go somewhere, they gonna be like, oh, that's Wooty Whoop from Wooty Whoop. You don't even gotta bang. It's like it's molded in, it comes with that. You really don't have a choice, honestly, because after you get labeled and targeted, it don't matter if you bang or not. They gonna treat you like you bang. I'm just saying it's real talk. But I can't blame. It's like 50-50, but man, the kids know what's wrong and what's not. You feel me? Just like that. I don't want to get too deep into it, but let's keep it.
When they start going up in their careers, Adam then invites them on his platform to snitch on themselves. They then go on Adam's show and copy exactly what they saw the rappers do before them, thinking that they have to incriminate themselves for clout. And Adam knows this whole thing. This is clearly entrapment. He knows that other upcoming artists want to go viral like the rapper they saw on No Jumper. So when they get their shot to go on Adam's platform, they snitch on themselves and Adam eats it all up. They get some clout and Adam makes money, but at the same time provides the authorities with the information they need to arrest these artists. It's clearly entrapment, and Adam is preying on these kids. Half of these kids are barely 20 and don't know any better. If I was convicted by the mistakes I made in my early 20s, I would have never became the man I am today. I would have never had the opportunity for God to work through me. While I am nowhere near perfect, I am a different man than I was when I was 20, thanks to God. These kids that are incriminating themselves on No Jumper for Adam22 won't get the chance to redeem themselves and change. Like I have said long ago, hip-hop was infiltrated and guided in the direction it's heading in today. Record labels purposely only sign gangster rappers and refuse to sign conscious rappers, making sure that the urban city youth only consume gangster rap. They use rappers to make gang life and criminals look like the cool guys. The labels and those behind the labels engineered this culture to destroy the urban community. I spoke about the former CIA agent John Holmeston, who became a whistleblower. He confirmed that NWA, the most famous gangster rap group from the the 80s was created by the CIA to push gangster culture and make the urban city youth revolt. This correlates with the secret meeting in hip-hop often spoke about that claims that rap had been infiltrated by the private prison industry, where labels were paid big money by private investors to only sign and promote gangster rappers that would promote a criminal lifestyle, leading more people to a private prison which these investors owned. This is all deeper than just criminals being arrested. This is complete and total evil, with the elite hijacking hip-hop music to influence a generation to be criminals. Just like we're seeing today with drill music. You'd think these 17 and 18-year-old drill rappers were born killers who knew since birth they wanted to be a drill rapper and snitch on themselves? No, they were influenced by the music the record labels were pushing onto the masses. They were shaped by the thug rappers they were told were the cool guys. Fake thugs made in record label offices that influence young kids into being real gangsters. These young rappers snitching on themselves are just as much as victims as they are criminals. What they are doing is what was promoted to them all their lives. A system created by outsiders who are not from the urban community but love to take advantage of the people from those communities. Just like Adam22. Like I pointed out before, Adam J. Grand Mason 22 is directly connected to Bill Clinton himself, with his father being pardoned by Bill Clinton. Do you think just anyone gets a presidential pardon or gets invited to hang out with Clinton? No, we're talking about Bill Clinton, the same man on the Epstein list who was confirmed to have been on the island. Adam Grand Mason is directly connected to the elite. Adam knew this was a dead giveaway, and after I called him out on it about 2 years ago, he altered his Wikipedia to remove all mentions of his father and his connection to the Clintons. Now, Adam22 himself has been accused of doing disturbing things with girls, just like the Clintons are accused of. Being accused of allegedly grooming a teenager and admitting to hooking up with her when she turned 18. He then bragged about doing it online.
I did forget about that. Oh, this shit just everywhere, huh?
Lil Pump also accused him of hooking up with teenagers while he was touring with him. Adam22 tells us what he's about openly. He has an inverted cross tattoo on his face, a burning church on his arm, and even a tattoo of Baphomet on his fist. A man who claims he wants to spit in the face of God and openly mocks and disrespects God. This is the man some of you are calling a hero for cleaning up the streets. An open Satanist with PDF file allegations that profits from and glorifies gang culture, who also pushes sim culture and pushes adult content addiction to his millions of followers. You guys have to wake up if this is who you're calling a hero. He is the biggest problem within this culture. I personally don't think Adam cares one bit about hip-hop or its culture. All he cares about is pushing his agenda. I personally feel he was planted in the industry to do exactly what he's doing. Pushing a destructive agenda through his platform that influences millions. Rappers getting arrested is just the icing on the cake for Adam. Adam takes no accountability for what he did. He claims he's never guilty of anything. Whether it's grooming a young girl or betraying his friends or pimping out his wife, Adam always has a reason why it's not his fault. Just like he claims his co-host getting arrested is not his fault. Adam not only allows his co-host Brick Baby to snitch on himself on live, but he then publishes the live video and also went as far as to clip the live video where he specifically named each video after the incriminating thing Brick Baby said. Adam.
If you've recently been injured in a car accident that wasn't your fault, I've got one question for you. Do you know how to get the maximum compensation that you deserve?
Adam claims to be friends with Brick Baby, but in reality, he's just using him. Brick Baby was his street cred and his circus freak, allowing Brick Baby to perform for Adam22's crowd so he can make money off of him. Adam is not innocent. He's just as much a part of the problem as all the rest of them. He is feeding the machine created to destroy those living in urban communities. They are pushing this gangster culture to the urban city youth, turning them into gangsters, then locking them up when they do. It's entrapment, and that's exactly what Adam22 is doing. Like I always say, we need to be the change we want for our world. We need to help those lost find God and dedicate their lives to doing better. Amen. We have to stop supporting this destructive culture and stop bigging up platforms like No Jumper, where an outsider takes advantage of these lost souls. We need to big up those who are going to help the community, not destroy it. In my opinion, Adam will be working a whole lot more with the feds. He will be most likely turning in a lot of information and helping bring down a lot more kids that are just lost. While I'm not saying Brick Baby and Loose Cannon are kids, as they are grown men, they have been lost since they were kids, influenced by a manufactured culture created to destroy them. Something Adam clearly knows and took advantage of. Let these people be the warning to those stuck in the trap. Wake up, turn to God, and stay away from Agent 22. Well, that's it for this video. I want to thank you all for watching.
Man, listen. I feel him, though. I feel him. I do feel him. You feel me? Need more people, but people don't like that. I'm just being 1,000. If somebody get on there talking about, you know, people don't want to hear that. You feel me? People want this, and that's why these creators give them that. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not with nobody. I'm not against nobody. You feel me? Adam, like, I don't know. What's your opinions? Because I like to mind my own business and stuff. I'll talk about stuff, but I'm not gonna get too deep into it. You get what I'm saying? So, but like I said, man, these is all grown people, and I bet you these grown people know right from wrong. I understand it's like this clout, like it's like a drug. You get what I'm saying? And they willing to do whatever for it. I guess. I would think that's like, cause why else would you get on there and say this type of stuff when you know it's finna be available to the whole world? I would say this a learning lesson. You feel me? And hopefully they all learn from it. And hopefully it changed where it don't happen no more. Adam, all I'm saying is, shit, start cutting shit out. I don't know if y'all do it live or whatever. And stop asking these questions. I understand it and shit. And so you so used to streaming, and really it's like you just really having a regular conversation. You get what I'm saying? And it's like the cameras is there, but if you around having a regular conversation, you gonna say shit like that. It's just so normalized to them, so it's just like they feel free to talk about it. It's all a mind thing. But yeah, and to the feds, I got a lot of y'all people that y'all need to investigate. Alright? It's time to eat. Hello? Alright.
And I'll
no, here I come. Alright. Okay, let's get over here.